Welcome back to Euro Football Daily, where we're reflecting on the 10 most risky transfers this season that ultimately paid off. Let's get into it. 10. Aaron Ramsdale. Arsenal's decision to demote the trusted Bernd Leno and replace him with Aaron Ramsdale drew plenty of attention. Ramsdale had suffered consecutive relegations with Bournemouth and then Sheffield United, both periods where he'd appeared to struggle. With the Blades, he did show some promise, maintaining a 70.6% save rate and preventing 1.9 goals more than expected. However, they would still finish flat last in the Premier League. Still, Arsenal shelled out £25.2 million for the stopper, taking the total transfer fees paid for Ramsdale to almost £45 million. The 24-year-old's critics were ready to pounce on any bad performance, but by mid-November it was Ramsdale who was having the last laugh. After 11 matches, the Gunners were 5th, with Ramsdale having kept 5 clean sheets. What's more, he had only conceded 4 times, boasted a save rate of 86% and completed 10 catches, the 5th most in the division. Calls were growing for the former AFC Wimbledon loanee to not just be picked for England, but start as number 1. Truth be told, in 2022 his performances have waned, along with Arsenal's hunt for Champions League football. But still, Ramsdale has exceeded expectations and should have a long and happy career at the Emirates. 9. Salernitana. Desperate times call for desperate measures. That was certainly the case for the promoted Italian minnow Salernitana, who by January the 1st found themselves flat bottom of Serie A on a measly 8 points. The top flight, it appeared, was not for them. Konate had prepared for Serie A by signing over 22 players in the summer. These additions, including an aged Franck Ribéry, weren't working, so Salernitana decided to gamble again in the winter window. The club added 14 more players to their ranks, spending €10 million in permanent deals and countless more on loan fees. The new faces included the former Tottenham centre-half Federico Fazio, Sheffield United's Lys Mousset, and Torino's talented playmaker Simone Verde. 4 straight draws in February hinted at progress, but then 4 defeats in the next 5 looked to have killed that momentum. However, Salernitana completed the great escape. Davide Nicola got his revamped squad to gel, collecting 15 points from a possible 27 since mid-April. This dragged them to safety in 17th, 1 point ahead of Cagliari. It's an unbelievable effort, made more remarkable by just how much change has taken place at the Stadio Arechi this season. 8. Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Transfers between AC Milan and Inter Milan are hardly uncommon, with the likes of Andrea Pirlo and Clarence Seedorf having made the switch, but still neither set of fans were particularly impressed when Hakan Çalhanoğlu swapped the Rossoneri for the Nerazzurri last summer. He might have contributed 53 Serie A goals on the red side of Milan, but was always criticised for being something of a set-piece merchant. 13 of his 31 assists coming from corners or free kicks. However, it's fair to say that the 28-year-old Turkish international has exceeded expectations in Simone Inzaghi's side, setting a career high for goal involvements in a single campaign with 19. 3 of his 7 goals might have been penalties, but Inter fans didn't mind, especially when he celebrated scoring 1 against Milan by cupping his hands to his ears. Çalhanoğlu's 2.6 key passes a game was the best in Italy, and also saw him rank in the top 10 across Europe's big leagues, whilst his 12 assists were second to only Domenico Berardi in Serie A. The only downside, he had to watch his old club pip his new one to the Scudetto this season. 7. Jonas Wind. In the winter, Wolfsburg made the bold decision to sell Wout Weghorst. They were in dire straits, teetering towards a shock relegation from the Bundesliga after a miserable 9 losses from 17. Weghorst wanted to leave, but the 6'6" striker was still their top scorer on 6, so losing the Dutchman came with considerable risk, as did signing his replacement, Jonas Wind. The Dane arrived from FC Copenhagen for €12 million, nearly double his transfer mark valuation. That's not to say he didn't have pedigree, scoring 6 in 16 Danish Superliga appearances this campaign to add to his tally of 15 goals the season prior, but throwing the 23-year-old into the pits of a relegation battle could have gone horribly wrong. But respect to the Wolfsburg scouting department, as Wind has been a breath of fresh air at the Volkswagen Arena. 5 goals and 2 assists might not sound prolific, but no one in Die Wolf's squad bettered his 1.2 shots on target per 90, while he works incredibly hard for the team, winning 5.3 aerial duels and drawing 2.2 fouls per match. Wind's impact helped Wolfsburg reach 12th, allowing them to reset ahead of the new campaign. Weghorst, meanwhile, has been relegated with Burnley. 6. Philippe Coutinho. It was no secret that Barcelona wanted rid of Philippe Coutinho even before their disastrous financial situation came to light. Even disregarding the enormous €135 million paid for him back in 2018, the Brazilian failed to impress at the Camp Nou. He spent 2019-20 out on loan at Bayern before missing most of 2021 with a knee injury. So despite his undoubted quality, any club moving for the 29-year-old would be seen as taking a big gamble, but that didn't stop Steven Gerrard pulling strings to bring his old Liverpool teammates to Aston Villa. And he hit the ground running, scoring on his debut against Manchester United, ending the season with 5 goals and 3 assists. None of his teammates topped his 2.3 shots a game, whilst he also ranked highly in the Villa charts with his 1.3 key passes and 1.1 dribbles per 92, injecting some much needed flair into what had become a quite flat attack in Dean Smith's final weeks. Villa even turned his temporary stay into a permanent one for just £17 million, representing a 50% discount on the initially agreed option to buy value of £34 million. A win-win all round. 5. Nicolás González. Any time a club tops their transfer record, there is an immediate pressure for the incoming player to perform. And that was no different when Fiorentina splashed €24.5 million on Stuttgart's Argentinian attacker Nicolas Gonzalez last July. Primarily a striker for the German outfit, the 24-year-old scored 14 times as die Schwaben won promotion from the Bundesliga 2 in 2019-20, and the following season contributed 8 goals despite missing over half the campaign to injury. Of course, La Viola already had Dusan Vlahovic running things up top, so Gonzalez supplemented him from the wing, contributing 5 goals as he found his feet in Serie A. Vlahovic left for Juventus in January, and Gonzalez was the one who stepped up in the Serb's absence. Still playing on the wing, he contributed 8 more goals, and whilst that didn't seem many, he netted 3 goals in his final 3 matches, including a penalty on the final day to clinch a 2-0 victory over Juventus. This helped Fiorentina finish the campaign in 7th, as they qualified for European competition for the first time since 2016. Considering they lost their star mid-season, the club couldn't have wished more from their record arrival. 4. Adama Traoré. In the last couple of years at Wolves, Adama Traoré had become known for all-star but no substance, with his pace and power never translating into goals or assists. It meant when the chance arose to return to Barcelona in January, the club he left back in 2015 for just €10 million, the 26-year-old jumped at the move. Whilst the Spaniard's opportunities remained somewhat limited under Xavi, there were glimpses of the Traoré we had become so familiar with in the Premier League. Unbelievably, he'd attempt over 8.3 dribbles per 90, completing 5.7 of them. He even made an instant impact with 2 assists in his first 2 games for the Blaugrana. Due to their finances, Barca chose not to proceed with the €30 million option to buy included in the loan deal, but remain interested in signing their former academy product in a permanent transfer. Having sent Francisco Trincao the other way on loan last summer with the same option to buy included, Joan Laporta remains hopeful that the 2 clubs can come to some sort of arrangement over the players. The transfer may have raised a few eyebrows back in January, but it appears all parties want to keep this going into the next season and beyond. 3. Ange Postecoglou. Okay, this isn't a transfer, but few gave Ange Postecoglou a chance of succeeding at Celtic when he was announced as Neil Lennon's successor last June. The Greek-born Australian had been managing Yokohama F. Marinos in Japan, away from a mainstream audience, whilst his most notable claim to fame was guiding Australia to 2 World Cups and winning the 2015 Asian Championships. Celtic fans had been expecting Eddie Howe to turn up at Parkhead, so they left shocked at Postecoglou's appointment. However, 1 year on and there is nothing but love for the man known affectionately as Ange. The 56-year-old has smashed expectations in Scotland, wrestling back the title from Rangers and winning the League Cup. He has achieved this against a massive overhaul of the squad, with 16 players arriving and 19 departing over the campaign. The former Brisbane boss has won over fans with his straight talking and inspired a broken squad left by the Neil Lennon regime. Joe Hart is back to his best, Callum McGregor is a perfect heir to Scott Brown as captain, while Postecoglou's raiding of the Japanese market has paid dividends. Celtic are back in the Champions League proper and have their enigmatic Australian to thank for it. 2. Dan Burn. In January, Newcastle desperately needed a new centre-half. The Magpies had hemorrhaged goals, conceding 42 by the new year, and the rumour mill was in overdrive as they hunted for a solution. Lille Sven Botman appeared tempted, Sevilla blocked an approach for Diego Carlos, while Burnley's James Tarkowski was mentioned. However, as deadline day loomed, it was Dan Burn who would turn up at St James's Park. £13.5 million was an overpay for the 29-year-old, who'd spent more time on the wing at Brighton than in the heart of defence. But Burn was a born and bred Geordie, who declared returning to Newcastle was everything he dreamed of. Sure enough, Burn has given everything for his home city, and been a massive addition for Newcastle. The Toon have kept 7 clean sheets in 15 games he's played in, with the 6'6" defender completing 3.6 tackles and interceptions per 90, plus a monstrous 6.4 clearances. It should also come as no surprise to hear he ranks 9th in the Premier League for aerial wins too. Bruno Guimaraes might have stolen headlines among Newcastle's winter arrivals, but Bern might just be the true unsung hero. 1. Ibrahima Konate. Last summer, RB Leipzig sold Dayot Upamecano to Bayern Munich for £38 million, and then Ibrahima Konate to Liverpool for £36 million. Despite being slightly more expensive, the general consensus was that Bayern had got a better deal. Upamecano was considered one of the most competent and dominant ball-playing centre-halves in Europe. Konate, meanwhile, was stuck on the treatment table, having made just 14 Bundesliga starts over the previous 2 seasons. But Liverpool's gamble has paid off. The immense partnership of Virgil van Dijk and Joel Matip has allowed Jurgen Klopp to take his time with Konate, only using him 10 times in all competitions by the turn of the year. However, with the side chasing 4 trophies, the Frenchman became integral to Liverpool's success. His game time has almost doubled in 2022, while headed goals against Benfica and Manchester City have displayed his authority in the air. With excellent tackle, interception and passing numbers, the 22-year-old has all the hallmarks of a world-class defender, qualities he showed again in the Champions League final. And who better to learn from going forward than Van Dijk, the best of the best. So that was our selection of 10 risky transfers that paid off this season. Who have we got right, who have we got wrong? Let us know in the comments down below. As always, subscribe to Eurofootball Daily, hit the notification bell and smash the like button if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.